Oh, hello, hello. How are we all doing? It's been an absolutely monumental couple of days to be a Spurs fan. Two massive breaking news stories for us to react to today as Tottenham are set to be trying to complete two massive deals. One is for Eberechi Eze of Crystal Palace, and the other is of Savinho from Manchester City. I'm absolutely just in an absolute awe at the moment of what Tottenham are trying to do. I'm trying to keep the faith. I've seen a lot of comments. I did a reaction video this morning to that news, and basically, a lot of my comments in reply was saying, Sonny, hold your horses. A lot of us, I'll be honest, have got a bit of PTSD from Mr. Marinakis, and I'll refer to him as that because that's how he likes to be referred to. And a lot of people are worried whether or not these deals can happen. So today on this live stream, I'll probably go till about 5 o'clock. We'll be talking about the current status of both deals. Ben Jacobs has just been on TalkSport. Everyone who subscribes will know I work for TalkSport. He's given a little bit of an update on the Eze deal, so I'll be talking about that. And as always, get your questions in to the live chat. If you want to ask me any questions about the deals, what I think of them, Tottenham's transfer window thus far, anything ahead of the Super Cup final as well, get your questions in, and I'd like to hear what you guys have got to say. And also, if you are new around here, leave a like because then it will push this live stream out to all different Tottenham audiences. This is my second ever live stream on the Sunny Talk Spurs YouTube channel. So, bear with me. I'm getting used to this. And as I say, leave your likes, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because it'll let you know when I go live in instances such as this. We currently have 16 of you watching, so thank you very much. And also, we're on the road to 10,000 subs. I want to say thank you to those who are subbed already. We did 9,000 over the weekend, and we're now, I think we just hit another 200 actually. So closing in on that 10,000. So that is good to hear. We'll start with one or two questions. Dan Davenport, regular contributor, has said, "Hey Sonny, we should try and purchase Leao from AC Milan." I'll be honest, every time I watch Leao, I have not been impressed with him. I am not the biggest fan of Rafael Leao. I'm not sure if he's ready to make that step up to elite football. I'm really, really on the fence with him. And we've also got a comment from SDFC Benny, and he says, "I'm content with the roller coaster of emotions." Yeah, I'll be honest, at the moment, I'll do this before I talk about the other deals. I think Tottenham's transfer window thus far has been good. We're improving in certain areas that we really need to improve. Taka, I think, is a good addition at the back. Polinia is a different midfield option, and Kudos as well. But we all know why you're here. 38 of you now on the live stream. We're here to talk about Savinho and Eberechi Eze. And we'll start with Savinho. So what is the latest with Savinho? So there was mixed reports this morning. I've got to make this clear because a few of you in my comment section, I think, saw the fake news that was doing the rounds that the Savinho deal was off. This is not the case. It was misquoted. Someone took the words of Ornstein and Jack Pitbrook from The Athletic and took them massively out of context. The latest on that is that Tottenham are very keen to do the Savinho deal as well as the Eberechi Eze news, and they're just... What City want to do is they're reluctant to sell. They don't really want to sell. They've only had him there for a year. He's young. He's he's a little bit raw, Savinho, but they see a lot of potential in him. But he sees that he wants some first team football. He might not get that at Manchester City at the moment because look at the players they've signed this summer. Shirky, Foden's coming back, hopefully to top form for them. So there's a lot going on. And the basic thing from City is they want some money. They want more money than we're offering. I think Spurs are keen to do the deal between 40 and 50 million pounds. City want a little bit more than that. And I think it's worth it. And then what City are aiming to do is if they do sell Savinho to us, then they'll go to Real Madrid and try and get Rodrigo. And I mean, that's quite good because it means Arsenal will miss out on him as well. So that's the latest with Savinho. Just to let you know, tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I've got a video going live basically deep diving into Savinho, why that deal is happening. I've done a deep dive already on Eze, so go and watch that if you haven't already from a few months back. But I'm doing one on Savinho. It was meant to go live this morning, but then we had the news on Eze. So go and watch that. Set your notification bells for that tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So next up is the Eze news. So the latest with that, Ben Jacobs, as I said at the beginning of this stream, was on TalkSport before I came on air. And he said that basically Eze is open to both teams. He likes the idea of both projects. He ideally wants to stay in London and, he's obviously at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace obviously found out the news yesterday that they will no longer be in the Europa League. They're in the Conference League after their CAS appeal. So there are rumours that they might need to sell some players. They've not done too much in the transfer window thus far. And also there's rumours that literally just broke that Liverpool are going back in for Guéhi. So Tottenham are actually at a more advanced stage. They're willing and keen to accelerate the deal for Eze, whereas Arsenal have sort of gone on the back burner. They're keen for him, but they haven't really made any moves. So that is the latest on both deals. So as I said in the intro, we're here today to talk about both those deals. I want to get all your guys' input. So get your comments in now, questions, and I'll give my opinion. And we'll have a little bit of a debate and chat. As I said as well, leave your likes because it means that people can see this around the algorithm. If you want to leave a super chat, that would be much appreciated as well. 75 of you watching so far. Fantastic. If none of you subscribed, you know what to do. So my last comment that I got up to was Dan Davenport again. We need to purchase 2 strikers. We should get Guéhi and Donnarumma. I'll be honest, I don't think we need 2 strikers. I feel like Dominic Solanke is the perfect striker for Tottenham Hotspur at this stage, hopefully coming back from fitness. And I've seen pictures, I did it on my TikTok as well, of if we get a front 4 of Solanke, Kudus, Savinho and Eze, that would be, I think, one of the best attacks in the league, especially after the big 4 who are going to finish in the top 4. Maybe Newcastle if they send Isak. Guéhi, I don't see the point of us going for Guéhi. I think Van der Ven and Romero are going to be the starting centre backs. There's no point really. I mean, Guéhi, you could say maybe could rotate with Van der Ven and injuries and that, but I think we've got enough centre back depth. I like Danzo. I feel like he's good enough as a backup option, and he won't mind not starting. So I'm pretty happy with that. And Donnarumma, I mean, likely, City being linked with him today, United keen, Chelsea out the race for him. We don't need a goalkeeper. I think Vicario is perfectly fine, and Kinski, I think it's more of a battle between them two as to who will be the starting out of them two. Ian S says, Bissouma been a naughty boy again, lol. Hopefully he gets sold now. I don't know what he's done, so you have to let me know that in the replies. But Bissouma is one of the players who I thought would leave, along with Richarlison. I'm actually surprised that they've not both left, but I think Tottenham are sometimes quite savvy with their sales. Don't get me wrong, we've obviously had Howlers selling Ndombele and Lo Celso, but they won't let a player go if they don't need to. Bissouma played a few minutes in pre-season, as did Richarlison, played quite a lot more. So yeah, I'm not surprised at Bissouma not going just yet, but we've still got about a month for the window left, or less than a month now. We're in the 12th of August. I think it's closed on 1st September. So we'll wait and see. Richarlison, we should offload to Saudi League or MLS, said Davenport. It depends what we do. Like, will we go for a backup? I'm not so sure. Like, Richarlison is a good enough backup. I still think he's got the ability. He's just fitness is still way off. If he's okay to play a bit part role, then I wouldn't mind keeping him. But if we can get the fee from him, as you say, from a Saudi, or I saw he was linked with Palmeiras, a return to Brazil. I think he just loves the club, and I think he just, after winning the Europa League as well, he's really keen to stay. Sun fan says, hi, hello there. Hope you're well. Hope you're not missing Sun too much. Eyeball Paul says, doesn't look like Bissouma will get any game time under Thomas Frank anytime soon after that interview, lol. What's this interview? I've not actually seen this. I need to see what that is. And then there was another comment as well from Eyeball Paul that says, Bissouma is another waste of talent. Don't think he will ever get the form out of that he had at Brighton. The thing is with Bissouma, or the midfield in general, if you think about it, I think Polinia and Bentancur fight for that 6 role to start, and then it's the 8 that's up for grabs. Is it a Bergvall? Is it an Archie Gray? Is it, Eze could play deep maybe if we sign him. There's a lot of good options there for us to Papa Matasar, who had a really good preseason. I don't think Sarv should be playing the 10 necessarily, so I'd prefer if he plays a bit further behind. Flugel Binder said, glad that Frank didn't try to hide or polish the Bissouma mission. Simple, straight showing he's the boss now. Toe the line. I guess that because as this is going on, Thomas Frank is doing his press conference ahead of the PSG game. Get your questions in as well about the PSG game. How do you see that going? Because I think we all know how it probably will go. But yeah, let me know what was actually said or what Bissouma's done, because I've not actually seen this, and obviously I'm live, so I've only got one screen, so I can't really see the updates. Terry Wright says, get this clown out of the club ASAP. Needs to make a statement and get him out ASAP. If these two come in, we'll be scary. Yep, I agree with you, Michael. I feel like these two transfers would be fantastic. I'm really happy with that. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to just see what this Bissouma news is because I've not seen anything. I'm just trying to see what's been going on because, as I say, I'm a bit confused with what's gone on. Basuma left behind for disciplinary reasons. Okay. What does anyone know what the disciplinary reasons are? If you can let me know, that'd be great. Too darn soulful, top contributor, always in my comment section. Good to see you. Solanke's not the perfect striker, Sonny, but Thomas Frank may make him that. I think he will. I've said it on quite a few videos. I said it on a podcast last night. I think Solanke has the attributes that Thomas Frank had in all his other strikers. Ivan Toney, like if Frank wants to play it long, Solanke will be good at that. I think he's got the pace like a Watkins and like ball skill. I am quite, happy with Solanke in this team. I think he just needed a bit more creativity. He didn't have a lot of that last season. He was dropping deep a bit too much, and I wasn't a big fan of that. We need to go for Anthony Robinson. He's actually injured at the moment. I don't think we do need a left back. I think we need a right back. I think that's where I'm a bit more concerned because Jed Spence can play left and right back, and I think he's actually better at left back. Right back's the cover I'd be looking for, not left back. And that's where I'd see it. Basuma's been late too many times, says Eyeball Paul. Well, yeah, I think he's probably off then, isn't he? That embarrassing red card at Luton was the start of the downfall. Yeah, Ian, I think I agree with you there. Turn up late for training repeatedly. Yeah, I understand that. Vlahovic has a cheap evaluation. Take him. Wouldn't mind that as a backup striker option. But again, Juventus going to let him go. He's 25. Does he want to play backup? But then it would provide good competition. But I imagine if we do Eze and Savinho, that will be our deal's done. I can't imagine us doing any more than that. PC Olsen says, come on, you Spurs. I've just looked at the top left-hand side. 108 of you watching. We are also live, I think, at the same time as we are Tottenham TV. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to join my stream. As I said, if you are new around here, leave your likes, subscribe. We're now on 40 likes. If we can get that up to around 150, 200, I'd be very, very happy. But yeah, and if you aren't subscribed already, that would be much appreciated. Ian S says, showed up late for training 3 times and Frank has had his fill. Yeah, Frank's no nonsense. I think we forget this. He isn't going to take stick if, it's all going to, if a player does that. And Basuma's probably knows that his future's not at the club, so maybe it's one to move on. I know he was linked with, I'm going to say Besiktas. It was definitely a Turkish club. So maybe it was that. It was Jose Mourinho's one, which I think is Besiktas. Thoughts on selling Richarlison and taking a punt on Watkins? I don't see the point of taking a punt on Watkins. He's going to demand a higher fee. I think he's in his last year, but still, Villa won't want to sell him. And who plays in the role? I don't understand. I think it's a bit of a confusing one. And Richarlison, it depends if we get a good offer. I'd be keen to sell Richarlison, but I think as a backup option, it would be fine. Then Gon's Football and Things. Afternoon, mate. Biss and Rich needs to go. Great stream, Comedy Spurs. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, those were my 2 outgoings from the start of the summer. I did a keep, buy, sell on the channel, and I said that those players are the ones that probably need to head off because they're just not. They just haven't got they haven't got the fitness in that. But as I say, Bissouma, yeah, if he's done this and he looks out, then probably time to get rid of him. Richarlison, I'm on the fence about still. Our midfield is dreadful at the moment. I think it's been better though, Terry. I think it has been better. Apart from Bayern Munich, which is a whole separate entity, I think in general it has looked more tight. It's looked more efficient. Defending that back 4 a little bit better. I'm quite confident that basically I don't think Thomas Frank should be playing Palhinha and Bentancur in the same midfield. He could do that tomorrow. He might do that tomorrow, but I don't think he should. I'd rather have Bergvall in there for a bit of legs. And you got to remember as well, so no Donnarumma tomorrow because his future looks unset. And no João Neves. João Neves, you might remember, got sent off in the Club World Cup final. So his future, what I'm talking about, Donnarumma. So he will not be in the starting lineup. So very interesting there. PC Olsen says Spurs 2-0. I'd like to agree with you, but I think it might be a loss. It would have to be the best defensive display we've ever seen to cope with Dembele, Desiree. I don't think PSG have had a pre-season actually, which is quite interesting. So because of the Club World Cup, but unlike Chelsea, who played 2 games over the weekend. Apparently, timekeeping issues. Bassoon was late multiple times. Yeah, that's not good enough. His attitude does stink a little bit, Bassouma. I'm not really happy with his attitude. It's just such a shame because I remember I was in the Talksport offices when that broke. I think it was um, the Guardian who broke that news. 25 million we paid, and I thought this is going to be the guy. He was going to be the six to be the game changer for us, and it just hasn't worked out. And I don't know if that's just being coming to a bigger club than Brighton, but yeah, that's annoying. Marskall's line, I butchered that. Let's hoping that Spurs get a trophy in this game. Yeah, it's a small one, but at least it's a trophy. This is a massive trophy. We've actually never won it before, considering that we've won the Europa League twice before. But yeah, I'm really keen to for Spurs to go all in and win this. It's going to be tricky, but PSG are not invincible. We have seen against Chelsea in that Club World Cup final, PSG lost 3-0 at halftime. So yeah, it's one of those ones where we've just got to keep the faith and hopefully Tottenham don't embarrass themselves. Nearly 150 of you watching right now. Honestly, that's massive. If all of you could drop a like to spread this around the algorithm, we're competing with some heavy hitters who go live around this time. So hopefully you're enjoying it. And as I say, get your questions in. We'll be going till around 5 o'clock or so. Because yeah, I don't want to waste all your evenings, but I wanted to just do mainly an update on the transfer stuff. But yeah, this Bissouma news has dropped in the press conference, so that would be interesting as well. ENS says, with Sav and Kudos banging in crosses, Solanke will be okay. 100% agree. He just needs the delivery. What people have misinterpreted about Savinho as well, and I mentioned this on my video that goes live tomorrow morning, is he got like 10 assists in all competitions, I think, which is absolutely incredible. Like, really, really impressive. And most of those assists were to Haaland. They want to play, he tapped them in. And that's what Solanke needs. He needs some more chances created for him so he can put that away. And then I think we will be all right. Johnson will be a bench warmer then. I think it depends on the game state. Again, I mentioned this in the video tomorrow. I don't want to reveal too much, but Johnson is a different sort of winger to what we have or what we're looking to sign. He will be used when Tottenham have not got a lot of the ball. So against the big sides, when we want a bit of pace and a counter-attacking and all that sort of stuff, he'll be used. When a team is low blocking, that's when we'll use the dribblers like Kudos on that right-hand side. So yeah, I'm not too worried. I think all these players have a massive part to play in this team. Fardin has said, Eze, question mark. I've already given an update on the latest. Us and, excuse me, Arsenal, both really keen. We're more advanced at this stage. Arsenal have not put an offer in or have sort of like calmed down their approach, but Tottenham are keen to accelerate and make the deal happen sooner rather than later. That was the latest from Ben Jacobs. Bassouma has definitely fallen out with the what's that say? No D head rules, lol. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've just realised what you mean. Basically, Thomas Frank did a interview with Jake Humphries for the High Performance podcast, and he basically Thomas Frank says he doesn't want to. He will not. He will have a no D heads policy. If you know what you understand what the D is, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to demonetize this stream. But yeah, he is probably a plum, is what I'll say, is Bissouma. PC also says, Ange to Bissouma, late again. Don't be late again, mate. Yeah, it's not good enough. At this top level, you should not be arriving late. Maybe it's just a slap on the wrist, but we will see what the implications of this is, or of this are. 45 minutes late for training after told the squad. Yeah, that's just poor, Rashid. It's just not excusable at this top level. Really, really bad. Farden would love Eze, but I just want Madders back. Well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. He is out for a while. Kulesevski is out for a while as well. So we need creators. And I think there's a world where Eze, Kulesevski, and Maddison all fit in perfectly. We'll rotate. We've got a lot of games this season. So don't worry that we got. I said this when we were being linked with Morgan Gibbs White. A lot of Spurs fans were like, why are we going for Morgan Gibbs White? Here's your evidence. We need creators, because I think that's been my one worry and admission about preseason, that we've lacked in a creativity sense. When we do create chances, they're good, they're clear cut, but we need to be creating more if we want to, find the back of the net. But where did I get up to? Eyeball Paul says, does anyone know where Melia is these days. Do we still have him? The Irish striker we got last year. Haven't heard anything about him. So with him, he has gone back on loan to the club he was at because he's not old enough. It was sort of the similar situation with Vuskovic. So we signed Melia and at 17 years old, but he can't join because of the EU rule as well. Same with Vuskovic, we signed him at 16. So that's why we haven't seen him. So I expect he will join Tottenham when he turns 18. So that would either be in the new year or in the summer. So that's quite interesting in that regard. Gray progressing rapidly. I think Gray has had a really good pre-season. I hope that Gray will be a massive. The thing is, I don't think Gray was, the reason we saw Gray not used too much in his midfield position last year was because of because he was not seen as good enough to play the solo six. Whereas I feel like in a midfield two, in a double pivot, he will look, he will be better in that regard to, be complemented by the likes of Bentancur, Polinia, whoever he's playing up against. And then he was also versatile enough to play right back. And I think, everyone's saying about we need fullbacks. We'll just play him right back. He played lots of minutes at right back when he was at Leeds United in the season before he joined us. Next comment is from Michael, and he says, Skarner is better than Richie. I assume you mean Dane Scarlett. Funny enough, it hasn't been loaned out yet. We did a lot of loans last week. Will Lancashire, Jamie Donnelly. Dane Scarlett's future, as I've not seen many updates on that. But, I mean, they're very different players, aren't they? I think Dane Scarlett needs another loan spell. I think Richie, I would disagree. I think he is better than better than him at this stage. But Richie just can't stay fit, whereas I think Dane Scarlett can. That's where he has the advantage over him. And Michael again says Solanke should not be our first choice striker. Why do you, I disagree with that. I want to know why you believe that. I think Solanke, he scored 9 goals in the Premier League last year, had some really good performances, was amazing in that Europa League run towards the end. Some really tough moments, high pressure moments against Frankfurt and Bodo Glimt. I think he was also fantastic in the Carabao Cup run, scoring against Manchester United. I just think he is going to be really, really good this season as long as he can stay fit as well. Dominic Who says, Archie and Brennan are my fave players. Do you think they're going to play a lot of minutes, Dominic? Do you think they will still have a key role in Thomas Frank's side? And if we get Roundtable Talk says, if we get these two over the line, will this be the best transfer window maybe ever? When you say maybe ever, do you mean Tottenham or do you mean of all time, because there was a couple of Real Madrid Galactico windows that were better, and also you could argue that this Liverpool window is up there as well. I mean, everyone thought that the window when we signed Ndombele was good, so I think if we can get this done, that would be good. Just Tottenham, yeah. I think this would be, we've addressed a lot of issues, and it's funny to see Arsenal fans really annoyed at the moment that they're not. Doing enough. We're signing players that maybe they should be going for in Savinho, or that they have been linked with in Eze. So that's what's really, really interesting as well. Kudo's so strong. I think he could easily fit in at the 8 with Kudos, Savinho, and Eze. Yeah, I think Kulesevski again, he's not got the pace to play on the wing. I think he is better in the middle. So maybe an 8 is more of an option for him. I do think there are moments where Kulesevski has shown a bit of a lack of skill to maybe play on that right hand side, whereas in the middle I think he's able to use his pace better. He's a good dribbler, he's got an amazing pass on it and can score a goal. So that's where I think he will be very, very good. Now we've got 150 free of you watching, 66 likes. If we can get to that 100 like mark, I would love it. And as I said, it pushes this around the algorithm. And if none of the 150 free of you are subscribed who are watching this right now, get down below, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I would appreciate that massively because I've got a video coming live tomorrow about Savinho and what his impact will be to this side. And get your questions in the chat because I'll probably go live or end this live stream at around 5 o'clock. So appreciate that. And if you want to leave a super like or super chat I would appreciate that much as well, because obviously put a lot of work into these streams, into these videos, and I really appreciate your support. Marco De Cesio, great name, says, we will stop worrying if these two get over the line. Everything is always so precarious with our club. Will they ever not be with Levy in charge? I think the problem is, and I said this in my intro, is I think a lot of us have got a bit of PTSD and a bit of commitment and trust issues after what happened with Morgan Gibbs White. I put my neck on the line and said that I thought Morgan Gibbs White was definitely going to happen, even after there was the situation with the legal thing, and then it fell through, obviously. But I think Savinho is keen to come to Tottenham. We're keen to put down the fee that City want. City are a bit reluctant to sell, but I think, it will happen. And same with Eze and Palace. Eze is probably keen to play Champions League football. He wants to stay in London. He likes both the advances from Arsenal and Tottenham. It's just down to Tottenham to really, put their foot on the accelerator and get this deal done. That's the one not a stumbling block, but Tottenham, we know they work in mysterious ways, and they just need to, buck up their ideas, pull their finger out, Mr. Levy, pay this money up. Because the amount of times where, like, for example, so a bit that I haven't mentioned is, so everyone thought that 2 weeks ago, Eberechi Eze's release clause was void, null and void. But it's actually valid until this Friday. So it'll be keen to know what will happen. I think the release clause is around the £6-8 million mark. If I was Tottenham, I'd be triggering that every day of the week. I think they just see that he's a similar price to Kudus. They don't want to pay more than 55-60 million, which is annoying. But I feel like, with both two deals on the table here, and the fact that Tottenham want both, like, this isn't a one or the other situation. They want both, which is interesting. I think Tottenham need to just buck up their ideas. And, how many times have we missed out on Grealish's and in the past, and Williams and whatnot? We need to really, go for this one and make it happen ASAP. Next comment then is from Pure Comedy Spurs TV. Big up Sonny and chat. Comedy Spurs, yes, cheers for your support. Thank you for your comments. Let me know if you've got any questions as well. David Hall says the club just plays with our emotions with all these names and it never happens. I guess what you can say is at least these are coming from reputable sources. All I'll say is, and this is a warning, just be careful what you see on Twitter, especially. There's a lot of aggregators posting fake information. Just, trust your known sources, your David Ornsteins, your Fabrizio Romanos, Alistair Gold, Paul O'Keefe. There's a lot of good Spurs in the know accounts. Just a lot of stuff is being taken out of context this summer. There was an Alistair Gold quote that was taken out of context the other day. There was a David Ornstein thing that I mentioned earlier from Jack Pitt-Brook that was taken out of context. So it's just a thing where Tottenham, when you're seeing your information, you just got to make sure it's coming from a reliable source. Ben Jacobs is good. Alex Crook from TalkSport, they're always make sure they're double checking their stuff and not just chucking stuff out there to see if it sticks. But yeah, the facts, going back to the original point, just make sure they're reliable sources, make sure they're from, reputable sources. And like these are both from very reliable sources. So hopefully we'll get a few updates as the evening goes on. Ian S says, if they were willing to trigger 60 million for Morgan Gibbs White, then 68 Eze is a no-brainer. The thing is, I think the payment terms are different for all these different players. I think the Eze one, it might be a lot of it up front in the release clause, whereas when that release clause expires, it might be a situation where Tottenham say, well, we can pay you 40 up front and then the rest will be an add-on. So it's so much technical jargon and I can't keep up with all this contract talk. It is all very, very confusing. Hit the Bar says, put the money down. It's a no-brainer. I mean, just spot on. It's what I've been saying. Like, we just need to really, we haven't actually spent that much money. I think we've made some good signs, but Palhinha's alone with an option for 25 million euros to 20 million pounds. That's not a lot of an outlay. Takai was 5 million. Tell ended up being 30. Danzo, I think, was in the 15 to 20s. So not too much in the end. So we've still got a lot of money to play for. There was rumours at the beginning of the summer we had 200 million to play for. We are so comfortable with FFP, PSR. Unlike, look at the teams who we're going to be competing with this year. Newcastle, Villa. They had to, they've not made too many signings. They are really struggling to balance their books. They haven't sold much. They haven't bought much. It's really precarious for them. And then all the other teams, Bournemouth, Brentford, half their team has been stripped. So there's no excuses. We need to really close this gap. And by signing two quality players like this, that would make total sense. But as I said, yeah, if you've got any more questions about the PSG game, about Burnley at the weekend, transfer window, other players who've been linked to or speculation, let me know. 156 of you watching right now. I'm absolutely blown away by this. Really appreciate it. 88 likes. Can we get to our like goal of 100? That is what I want to aim for. And if you want to leave any super likes or super thanks, I forget what they're called, you can always leave them. I will appreciate it. And I'm always willing to put more work in. I'm always in the comment section of my videos trying to get regular updates and videos out to you guys. I always appreciate your support. As I say, we're on the road to 10,000 subs by the end of 2025. I'm on about 9.2, but if we can get to 10K by the end of the year, hopefully even earlier than that, if we can get it by the end of the month, that would be even more fantastic. But yeah, thank you guys. Sorry to keep mentioning that, but I just have to keep getting it out there. Let me see where I got up to. The club just, I got the put the money down. It's no brainer. James King North says, I'm not getting excited until I see both of them holding the shirt at White Hart Lane. To be fair, it's so old school when I rate it. Before, when we got Here We Go from Fabrizio, it was like, wow, that's happening. But now, I'm waiting for the Tottenham. I always have the, I don't have many Twitter notifications. On my phone with the bell icon. The only ones I have are Tottenham and FPL to see who scored a goal. But yeah, I'm always keeping an eye to see if any of those deals are said. 170 of you nearly watching, and we're nearly at 100 likes. If it gets to 150, I'll be very, very happy. But yes, moving on to the next question. Ian S again. Dangerous game to play, letting Palace call the shots, though. They don't want to lose him, do they? They don't, but they're keen to sell an asset. Clubs like Crystal Palace are always keen to sell one asset per summer. We saw last year they let go of Michael Olise. So they're always willing to sell players. Mark Gahey looks more complicated than Eze. It seems like, I know with Liverpool in for him, there was an update just before I went live about him. So there's an interesting point. Like, do they let go of both? Is it one or the other? I guess Palace are probably now looking at who they can replace these players with. And I mean, they've got Kamada, they've got SA as well, the Millwall player who they signed in January. Their defense, they were linked with the guy from Sporting, but I don't know if that deal has happened. But yeah, absolutely incredible what Palace will do. But the fact that there's a big drop off from the Champions League to the Europa League and now to the Conference League, so it's less money and less revenue streams. And you got to remember, by winning the FA Cup, it was glorious and fantastic for them, but not a lot of revenue. So you got to remember that. And there's going to be a situation maybe this season where a top club sack a boss and Glasner could leave. You don't know, these things could happen. But yeah, just want to say 155 of you now watching and 105 likes. Fantastic. If all 150 of you like this video right now, we'll hit my target of 150 to 200 likes. Really appreciate you guys as always. Then we have a question from UU Tot. It says, Savinho, the man who scored 3 goals in 21 Premier League games, no need. City wants to sell and buy Rodrigo. But that's City. Of course they want to buy Rodrigo. Rodrigo is a world-class talent. Savinho, you got to remember, and I keep saying this, I've got a video coming live tomorrow, but he played more games on the left than he did on the right before we got to City. His goal-scoring record was better on the left when he was at Troyes and at Girona as well. His assists were better as well. You got to remember, Pep plays this game. It's called Pep Roulette. He rotates the team a lot. He's brought in a lot of good attackers. And just because City want to get rid of him, and actually, they don't want to get rid of him. They ideally would like to keep him, but they can't. It's hard. Man City have so many good players, and they can't keep them all happy. And it is just what it is. So I just think it's a statement signing. It's and I know he hasn't worked out amazingly, but when Arsenal signed Gabriel Jesus from Man City, it's a statement to go to a Premier League rival. I know, in terms of Big Six, and go and sign one of their better players. I think it's a good deal. I think it's really good. Tomo says, well, Sonny, favourite Spurs kit ever. Is that a question or are you complimenting this one? Because this one's really good. I got it in Berlin last year at the Euros. Funny, they had the classic football shirts pop up. It's got Kane on the back, if you can see that there. My favourite Spurs kit is and I wear it quite a lot. I wore it in, if you haven't seen it already, go and watch it after this. Zach Jalab's latest video where I'm debating Rory Talks Football. I might put a clip of it up on the channel on Friday. It's the Holston Adidas one. Adidas just such a good brand. Holston, an iconic sponsor. Good beer as well. I heard you can see me drinking it occasionally. But yeah, that would be my favourite Spurs kit, or one of them. I love this one. I like the away this year. I still haven't got it, but I'm waiting to see what this yellow third kit looks like. Obviously, there's been leaks of it, but I'm really keen to see what that's like. ENS says the 10 assists, which make 13 goal actions in 21 games, makes it more appealing. Shouldn't tell half the story, lol. It's true. Like the assists he got were actually like amazing. Like some of the, I watched them last night. The one against Arsenal where he like threads it through an eye of a needle, beats probably two of the best defenders in the league, in Saliba and Gabriel, and he was great at assisting Haaland. So if Haaland, if Dominic Solanke can be anything like that, that'd be great. Psycho Fox says, Sonny, have you heard of any validation to the Van Hecker rumours? Obviously, the Brighton centre back. I mean, a good option. He won't necessarily play, so that could be a bit of a hindrance to that move. But yeah, I mean, an ideal backup. I think he's good. He's a good ball playing centre back. But yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Maybe. I mean, who's reporting that, Psycho Fox? If you let me know, I'll see if it's a reliable source. 150 views still watching. Really appreciate it. This is a fantastic turnout. As I say, we're still live at the same time as we are Tottenham TV. 153 now. 110 likes. If we can end this stream on 150 likes, one like for each of you, I'll be buzzing. I know I've done a lot of shout outs and that, but I'm just really keen to grow this channel. I've been going for this is my third year. We're closing in on 10,000 subs. I love doing it. I love, and this is only the second live stream I've ever done. So always keen to really get involved with you guys. I'm always in the comment section, so I'm keen to do more live streams. Let me know if you want me to do more live streams as well. And I'll probably do another 12 minutes on this till about 5 o'clock. So get your questions in on Eze, Savinho, transfers, PSG, game tomorrow, Spurs kits, anything. What my favorite? Ask me what my favorite dessert is. Anything you want to know, and also Burnley and ahead of the Premier League as well. Right, where did I get up to? PC Olsen says offer Bissouma to Palace for free. That's a good idea. I like the idea of that. Hit the bar says kudos Eze Savinho. Wow, that would be scary. It's very, very exciting. Path Mahira says thoughts on Bissouma. I assume you mean what's happened. If he's late and his attitude is gone, he's checked out, then time to get rid. I think he was on my sell list at the beginning of the summer. He's not worked out. He's not going to be a starting option. He's not going to be a player for the Spurs' future, for Thomas Frank's future. So time to get rid. AK Sheg says, nice shirt, Sonny. Yeah, I got this for a good fee, actually. It's really good quality. I wanted this one at the time, but I never got it. I never buy my shirts brand new, usually. I like to wait till towards the end of the season. But yeah, I love this one. I love the green one as well. You are wearing a lot of videos. Even like, don't get me wrong, Under Armour aren't the best brand, but I just love how the collar goes as well. And just the sash, which is sort of taking, I'm pointing the wrong side because it's mirrored. The sash sort of uses this design on the ball. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I'd love the AIA if it wasn't red, but, we can't have it all, can we? So next up, we have Epic 20. I hope we get both, but can't see us getting either. Keep the faith, mate. Keep the faith. We're going to get both. Just if you think positive thoughts, it might happen. Dan Davenport, thanks. You've been on since the beginning. Really appreciate your support, mate. What's the latest on Dane Scarlett's future? Last season, he had short loan spell at one of my local teams, Oxford United. Actually, thingy's there now, is he? Will Lankshire's gone on loan to Oxford. I imagine a similar thing might happen with him to what has happened with Alfie Devine. So Alfie Devine signed a new deal, was gone on loan to Preston, I believe, and they have an option to buy. I think some of these youngsters, they need one more loan spell to see how they get on, and if it doesn't work out, it's time to start selling some of them because they're just not making waves. But I think there's still a lot of, Mikey Moore, I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on Rangers. Jamie Donnelly at Stoke as well. So yeah, there's a lot of good things to be excited about. Simon Burney says if he tried to sell Biss, he'd probably be late for his medical. That's mean. That's great. Very, very funny. New white Nike is the best one. Do you mean the current Spurs this current season? I preferred last year's one. I like the central badges and all that, but I don't like the art. If it was last year's sleeves on this year's shirt, I'd like it even more. But yeah, is what it is. Adam Green says wanting to sign means Jack when Spurs and Levy are involved. Yeah, I mean, but just got to see what happens. we'll learn more as the days go on. And I know we've been scarred by so many failed transfers, but yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Tomo says, I like the Spurs kit from 24-25 home. That was last year's one. Yeah, I thought it was nice. Really, really nice. And the fact we won the Europa League in it makes it any better. Jessica says Van Hecker can play right back and DM as well as centre back. Would be a smart signing for cover. Yeah, but again, Brighton are such a good selling club. Chelsea will know that. Yeah, it's just one of those things where we'll just have to see what happens. Bill Greenwood says, nice live stream, Sonny. Let's have another one. And Epic says, you're brilliant, Sonny. Thank you very much. I don't want to, I hate sometimes these compliments because it makes me feel a bit, I want to be humble, don't I? So, but yeah, really appreciate this live stream has gone really, really well. Probably go for another 8 minutes, still 8 o'clock. As I say, 156 of you watching. If you want to subscribe, do that down below, hit the notification bell. 125 likes, 5 more likes. Make that 24 more likes now, and we'll hit my target. And it gets, this stream gets seen by loads and loads of people, especially after it goes into, when it ends, you can go back and watch it, some of the best moments and all that sort of stuff. The next comment was retracted. So, here we go. Salia Drabo says, Benvenu Savia. Oh, it's in French. I can't read that. I can't read that in French. If any of you can translate that, let me know what Salia Drabo says, because I assume it means hello, Eze and Savinho, good signings, but I don't know what it means. So yeah, Ghosty says the yellow kit is the best one, and I like it because it's a throwback kit. It's total 90, and the black kit, Ian says, yeah, I might have to get both. I don't want to line Daniel Levy's pocket, but I might have to sign both. Yalumbi says, been hearing this dross all window. Yeah, I know, mate. It's the name of the game. We're a big club. We're going to be linked with every player under the goddamn sun. We've just got to, we've got to act like a big club sometimes. Winning a trophy last year. We've got the money to spend. Just need to put our money where our mouth is. Adrian Gobbin says, Sonny, just seen, don't know how true, but Savio signed for us. Where have you seen that? Where have you seen that? Because if that's happened, I'll be absolutely buzzing. Who is reporting that? Derek Hutchinson says, Savinho, Eze, yeah, Piggy flies. Yeah, I know we're all reluctant, but yeah, it's just one of those things. You just got to keep the faith. Rashid Atmani says, is one of the people who was on early. Hit the like, guys. Proper Spurs fan. Comedy Spurs. Tottenham till I die. Listen to Rashid. He's talking a lot of sense. But yeah, mate, you're doing a super job. Keep it up. Texting you from USA. Lovely fans from USA. Try and tell all your friends in the USA. I want to grow my fan base out there. Not in a way like La Liga are playing the game out there. I want to know what you think of that, actually. You might open that as a topic of conversation for the final moments. Villarreal playing Barcelona in the US. What do you make of that? Because obviously Spurs were keen to join the Super League and it's all that sort of thing. So really, really interesting, that topic of conversation. And I'm sure Spurs and Daniel Levy will be well up for that if it provides a business venture. Finn says, sign Eze and Savio and I'll get a shirt with Levy #1 on it. You've said it. It's in the comment section. So I expect on my next live stream, when they're both done, because I'm being that confident, that they are both, but that you've got a shirt with both. Well, I was going to say what you should do is get home with Levy #1 on the back, getting away with Eze, and the alternate with Savio, and then you've got the full collection there. So yeah, I think that is a really good idea. As I say, we're 135 likes off our 150 like target. 162 two of you in here. So if all of you like it right now, we will hit that target. But I guess a lot of you have been here since the beginning, so that's not how numbers work. Adam Green says, what's your prediction for the PSG match? PSG match, my head says we're going to get absolutely battered. My heart says, if Chelsea can do it, why can't we? Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to lose. I think it'll be 3-0. I just think PSG will have had a rest. They were still quite electric in that Club World Cup all the way until the final. Just such a good team, aren't they? I mean, missing out on João Neves, not having him in the team. Donnarumma's not playing because his future's up in the air. But the front line, the defense, we just got to be on our A game. We've got to learn from our mistakes in the Bayern Munich game. We wouldn't go for the same midfield as well. So yeah, it's one of those ones where it could be anything, but I think we're going to lose 3-0. Same as what Derek Hutchinson's just said there, 4-0. But at the end of the day, PSG are on another stratosphere to us. It's, I know what's going to happen. If we win, it gets a monkey off Frank's back. He's won a trophy. He's proven himself. Yada yada yada. Master plan. All that. If we lose, it'll be like Tottenham back to losing ways. It's not even that bad, is it? It's not even that negative. We just got to move on and focus on the season ahead. Next one was Zulu Alpha says, tuning in from Arizona. Wow, USA. Listen to that lovely English footy voice during my morning work. Thank you. I'm not. A lot of people said I'm a bit monotone sometimes, and I'm trying to get more on TalkSport. I'm on. If you don't watch it or you haven't heard, TalkSport have a show called Inside Spurs. It's like a weekly Tottenham show. I'm on it this week on Thursday, reacting to the hopefully the win against PSG. I'll be on there with Majestic, the DJ who's on TalkSport, and Darren Ambrose, former Palace player, who is a Tottenham fan as well. And as we all know, Tottenham Palace, we'll see what happens with that. 9 likes away from 150 like target. Do that right now. Leave a like. 161 of you watching right now as well. Leave your likes. Subscribe as well. And also 8 likes away. And also, if you want to leave a super chat, I would really appreciate it. Obviously, taking 45 minutes of my time here to bring you guys this top content. So hope you are enjoying it. Next up, we have Derek Hutchinson for 4-0. I said that already. Van Hecker was via Give Me Sport. Don't believe what Give Me Sport say. They're not a reliable source. They're not a reliable source whatsoever. Peter Yang, starting front 3. I would go with... Now, Solanke's not fit. I'd go with Richarlison. I'd go with Kudus. And I'd go with Tell. I wouldn't go with Johnson. So, yeah, I wouldn't go with Johnson whatsoever. Going to do the last couple of questions now. We're 1 like away from 150. If you're not like this video, what are you doing? Go like that video right now. Or this video right now. Sonny, were you a fan of White Hart Lane? I loved White Hart Lane. I thought it was an iconic stadium, one of the most iconic stadiums in English football, in the Football League, Premier League. 150 likes, just interrupting. Thank you very much. Give yourself a round of applause. We got to my target. Thank you very much. I won't now say any spiel until the end. But last couple of questions. Yeah, was a fan of White Hart Lane. Loved it. Iconic. Went there quite a lot. But I understand why we're now in the stadium we are. It's epic. It provides, great revenue streams for the club, who will hopefully put that into players. And yeah, I just think Tottenham need to just act now. We need to act like a big club in a big stadium. I love the new stadium. There's been some great games there. There's been some bad games there. Last year I was there. Did not enjoy that. Brian Pasfield says 1-0 Spurs. Love you keeping the faith, Bri. Love you keeping the faith. That's really good to hear. Vince says, I just want a good performance. Yeah. That's what he did an interview, didn't he, Thomas Frank, the other day, and he wants his players to work hard. That is the name of the game. Pepe has just said Savio isn't for sale. He plays Saturday and the matter is over. Pepe who? I don't know what that means. Floating the... What's that? Starman floating in the sky. Where's he said that? Yeah, who knows. Sonny, what time for us in the USA? What time for us in the USA? Well, it's 5 o'clock here in England, so I don't know what time it is in the USA. I'm a bit confused by your question. Simon Frank, this guy, Pep Guardiola has just made a final decision on Savio's Man City future after Tottenham bid. Who's reporting that? Where have you seen that? But yeah. And finally, to wrap this all up then, musings of a football fan. You mean great revenue stream straight into Levy's pocket. And that's sometimes what it comes down to. Derek Hutchinson as well says, send Johnson back to Forest and cash for Gibbs. No, come on. Johnson is one of our best players. He is absolutely fantastic. I don't want to hear any of that slander. I don't want to hear any of that. It's Johnson again. He's a European champion, Derek. But yeah, and absolutely, I just want to say this is, I'm a little bit stunned by this. But Bill Greenwood has just sent a £10. I don't know what they're called. £10. Is it super chat or super like? Thank you so much for doing that. I really, really appreciate it. You did not have to do that. But yeah, that's. I'm really chuffed, mate. Really, really chuffed you've sent that. And just want to say before I'll say Vince's comment and then I'll sign off the video. We must sign Eze before Savio. If he signs Savio first, then City sign Rodrigo and the Goons will go. No, I don't think they will. I think I think Arsenal don't know where they're moving next, whereas we do. We've got our head switched on. We now need to act like a big club. Derek Hutchinson confirming it's a super chat. I sound like a right boomer there. I do know my stuff. I just didn't know if it's called a super. I don't even know what super like is. I don't know if there is a difference, but yeah. But yeah, I think I'm confident. I think Savinho definitely gets done. Eze, we'll see. We'll see about that. Last couple of comments, and then I have to end this because I've got to put my dinner in the oven. Otherwise, my girlfriend will be very, very annoyed. It was on Manchester City News. Who are they? Who are they? Like, is that the club? Is that, where's that coming from? Jamie Vardy. Are you the actual Jamie Vardy? Won't say we'll get Eze, but we have more chance to get Eze as Arsenal need to sell a player. That's the problem. Arsenal, we don't really need to sell many players, whereas Arsenal, they want to sell Trossard. They want to sell. Who was the other player I saw Rory Talks Football talk about earlier? They need to sell. Oh, Reece Nelson and a few others. So yeah, they've got a lot to sort out. So yeah, there is a lot to go on. Thank you, Derek, as well for subbing. Bill Greenwood, thank you so much. If any of you get me words out. I've been talking for nearly 15 minutes, so I've got to put my tea back in. I've not even taken a sip of water. I'll do that now. But if any of you other guys watching this right now, the 154 fans who have left 157 likes, really appreciate that. If any of you want to leave any super chats before I sign off, I would really appreciate that. That would be, I'm really, really chuffed at Bill Greenwood doing that. But yeah, so that's what I think, and that's what. Enjoy your dinner, mate. Let's hope we hear some good news. I've got gammon if you're intrigued to what I'm having. But yeah, that's what my opinion is on the Eze and Savinho latest on PSG. We'll talk about lots tonight. We've spoken about all sorts of stuff. And it's now time to go and enjoy the sunshine, all of you guys. And as I say, I've got a video going live tomorrow. So if you're not subscribed, go subscribe now. Hit the notification bell. It's basically a video deep diving into Savinho about why Tottenham want him, why Thomas Frank wants him, and why he's going to be an absolutely fantastic signing when it's done. We're staying that positive. But yeah, thanks to the 150 of you still watching now. 158 likes is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, until next time, guys, as I say, leave your likes, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And until next time, it's how I sign off all my videos. Up the Spurs, and ciao.